Welcome back, Algebra 3 trig students. We are going to look a little bit more at writing the equation of a circle. Here it tells us what the center of the circle is. So negative 2 and 3. So negative 2 is going to be our h value, and k is going to be our 3 value. And it tells us that a point 4, 5 is on the center or on the edge of our circle. So we can start our equation, right? If our general equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So right off the bat, we know that our h and k are going to be, we're going to put positive 2 here, because we're going to plug in negative 2 and a negative, make a positive, plus y minus 3 squared equals, and now what we have to do is we're going to have to figure out what our radius is. Well, the radius is, again, the distance between the center and the outside. So what we're going to do is find the distance between the point that they give us, so 4 plus 2 squared plus 5 minus 3 squared. And we're going to go through and we're going to simplify this, or we're going to solve it. So we're going to get 6 squared plus 2 squared, which is going to be 36 plus 4. So the radius is the square root of 40. So when I plug in, the square root of 40 squared is just going to be 40. So the equation for this circle with a center of negative 2, 3, and has a point on the circle of 4, 5, is going to be x plus 2 squared, and then plus y minus 3 squared, and it's going to equal 40. So now when I look at this example, it wants us to find the center and the radius of the circle that has this information. So what we have to do here is we can first, our goal is we got to make it look, as a reminder, make it look like x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Right? That's our goal. So the first thing I notice here is that all of these numbers are divisible by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do that a while. X squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y equals 3. Right? That's just going to make our numbers a little bit easier to work with. Now I want to group. I'm going to put all of my x's together and all of my y's together. And notice when I do this, I am going to leave a little bit of a space or leave a blank here, because we're going to have to fill in that blank with a number, because our goal is we want to create a perfect square here, and we want to create a perfect square here, right? And so to do that, if you remember earlier in the year, we did what was called completing the square. So what's going to go in this blank is I am going to look at the b, and it's going to be b over 2 squared is what's going to fill in each one of these blanks. So our b here is negative 4. So negative 4 divided by 2 squared. So negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Square that, I'm going to get 4. Well, since I add 4 on this side, I also have to add 4 on the other side, right? Because whatever we do to one, we have to do the other keys to keep it balanced. And the same thing is going to be go in this blank. This time it's going to be 6 over 2 squared, which 6 divided by 2 is 3. Square that, it's going to be 9. Again, I also have to add 9 over to that side. So now when I do this, right, this here becomes x minus 2 squared, because if I were to factor this, it would be x minus 2 times x minus 2. Over here, it's going to be a y plus 3 squared. And notice this part here matches up with a negative 2. 6 divided by 2 matches up with this part. And now on this side, I end up getting 16. So now the equation for the circle is going to be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. So looking at that, that means that our center is going to be the opposite of this, so 2, comma, opposite of positive 3, negative 3. And our radius is going to be the square root of 16, which is just 4. So let's do another one of these examples here. You'll have to add these to your notes, or this one to your notes, because I didn't give it to you. The one that we're going to do now is going to be x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 8y plus 12 equals 0. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, do some rearranging here. So it's going to be x squared plus 2x plus, leave a blank, plus y squared minus 8y plus, leave a blank. And I'm going to shift over the negative 12 to the right-hand side. So now we're going to fill in these blanks with our little trick of b over 2 squared. So this is going to become 2 over 2 n squared. So that's going to become a positive 1. Over here, it's negative 8 over 2 squared. So that's going to be negative 4 squared, which is going to give us 16. And I'm going to add 1 and add 16 to this side. Again, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other to keep it balanced. So now this side, the factor becomes x plus 1 squared. On this side, it's going to be y minus 4 squared. And over here, I am going to get negative 11 plus 16. I am going to get 5. So my center, again, comes from this point and this point. So it's going to be the opposite of the x and the opposite of the y. And our radius is going to be the square root of this, which is just ends up being the square root of 5. Okay, so please go ahead and move on to the next portion of today's work.